when a client asks for something or many things that I feel are not beneficial to the mix. Well, let me back up by saying, first of all, that an extension of my theory that there's no absolute one way to mix anything, even within the context of my own mix, if I've done my job properly and gotten things right, hopefully there's a lot of flexibility in that mix where I can bring something up or down, a significant amount, and not destroy the integrity of what I've established in the mix. So that's something I really work at doing, to have things, and a lot of that has to do with that maintaining definition between instruments, without prettifying them, but just keep them raw and powerful and everything, but have it so that you can move around a lot without suddenly having this instrument disappear, or that one suddenly seem too loud. When an artist then does request something that I feel is too far, or they want to push something too far, I'll speak up about it, and I usually try to address the way in which that would occur very early on in our first meeting, even before we even start mixing anything. I've had some artists that were too shy, and we're almost afraid to suggest that the great Andy Wallace should do this, and I have to kind of like get them to, well, don't be shy. I want your input, that's my job, So, but then on the other path, then there's people that sort of want to control the mix too much without the proper skills, and make suggestions that are definitely going to be injurious to the mix. So I try to talk to them ahead of time about that. Even before I perceive whether that is going to happen or not, I just want to let them know that first of all, you can always make suggestions to me. Don't be shy, and you can do that with confidence, because I'll pull the reins in if I really feel they need to be pulled in. I'll let you know if I think a suggestion that you're making is not good for the mix, or is going to destroy something else that we've established in the mix. And then we'll have a dialogue based on that. But at least have that confidence that you can speak out, but at the same time you can speak out without thinking that you're going to suggest something that is going to mess up your mix. I won't let that happen. I'll make sure it still works, And if I feel it doesn't work, then then I'll say that. I'll let you know that this mix isn't working anymore, or whatever change we made there is not good for the mix. It's not helping the mix. We're going away from where we should be, and so usually, if they can have that confidence. Not just in my ability to do the mix, but in my agreeing to kind of reel them in if they're gone too far. That gives them a freedom then where they can speak their mind, and they that I'm not just going to go okay, you want that louder, louder still, okay, and say, okay, you like that, great, it's done. Obviously I want anything that goes out with my name on it to be something I'm proud of, and that I really feel that I did as good a job as possible on, So, but once they have that confidence to know that they can make suggestions and that I'm going to tell them that they won't, usually any dialogue that comes up when then that does occur, when they want this guitar, they've over-focused on something, it usually leads to a dialogue where where it works out. There have been occasional times, thankfully not too many, where it just wasn't going to happen. In other words, like the way they wanted to mix the song was so far from anything that I could say, well, I helped by bringing my skills to this, where I've just said, well, with all due respect and no bad feeling, but I'm not helping you make the record you want to make. I can't. You got the wrong guy. You need somebody. One person, they were so, and I won't go into specifics, it happened a long time ago, but they were so completely fixated on their reference mixes that they had done. But in theory, they wanted, now let's take it to the next level and have a real pro mix done on it. But they absolutely could not let anything go. Every single suggestion, all the way down the line, basically was to go back to what it sounded like in their reference mix. And again, without a bad attitude whatsoever. It's they're the artist, and whether I agree that their mixes, were working for them or not, who's to say? They are, basically. It's their record. But I got to the point where I said, well, certainly you shouldn't hire me to mix this record, because I simply cannot give you what you're looking for. And I don't know that any other mixer is going to do it either. Really, if what you absolutely want are those reference mixes, release those reference mixes. That's the record you want, And now whether they ultimately did that or not, I don't really know. But that was an instance where it just didn't work out. And it didn't. I had no bad feeling. I don't think they did either. I think they, outside of frustration, But I don't think there was any bad feeling toward each other, Certainly no fist fights broke out. So, but it does happen. But fortunately, that's been a pretty rare occurrence. But it has happened.